Hi, I'm Brian from Dupli-Color. Rust prevention, fixing small scratches and chips, and even damage to larger surface areas is all possible with the Dupli-Color line of products. And you can do it all yourself in your garage. But the first thing you need to do is diagnose your vehicle's damage. It's a fast and simple assessment, and it's just a simple walk around your vehicle, and something you should do once every 30 days to prevent any costly future body shop repairs. Here we have a 2003 Lexus. It has around 90,000 miles and it's showing a little bit of wear. So what I'm going to do is take a quick walk around the vehicle and note any damaged areas. This vehicle is 7 years old, so it is showing some signs of wear. On the bottom molding here, there's typical scrapes and chips, and this is a perfect large situation where a perfect match product can handle. We already went through and verified the color code of this vehicle on Dupli-Color.com. The color code of this vehicle is 1C0. Before any of the paintwork starts, prep is the most important. We went through and washed the car already. After the car is dry, we'll follow it up by prepping the surface with Dupli-Color prep spray. You can also use a household rubbing alcohol as well. We have our shop towels, and we have our 600 grit sandpaper, masking tape, and of course the newspaper to mask off the surface. The very first step in any paint project is prep. I'm going to spray on the Dupli-Color prep spray, and what this is going to do is going to remove any of the tar, wax, dirt, anything that you didn't get off the vehicle when you washed it. You also want to make sure the wax is off of it because the paint won't stick to a waxy surface, as well as any tar and grease. You simply spray it on the towel. Like I said earlier, you can use household rubbing alcohol as well. Okay, after the prep spray is dry, the next step is to take the 600 grit sandpaper. Now, depending upon the severity of the chip, I am taking 600 grit because of the chips here. A regular surface like this lower part here, we can use just a red Scotch-Brite pad. That's just going to scuff the gloss off of the surface. Since these chips are a little bit more severe, I'm going to have to sand them and feather them in. That feels good. I went through and finished sanding all the heavy chips with the 600 grit sandpaper. And then I went through, sanded all the other areas with the red Scotch pad. The next step is taking masking tape and your regular Sunday paper. We're going to mask off all the areas of the vehicle where we don't want to get paint on when we're doing our paint work. I'm going to start off by using the masking tape. The final step before paint is applied is go over it one last time with prep spray or the household rubbing alcohol. This is going to remove any sanding dust, any oils from your fingers from touching it, from masking it. This will give it a good clean surface for the paint to adhere to. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of that. The next step will be applying the paint. Everything is prepped and masked off. The next step is using the Perfect Match filler primer. The filler primer is going to give the surface a nice even finish for the color coat to go over. You're also going to want to make sure you're in a well-ventilated area or have a mask. I have a mask, so I'm going to go ahead and put it on. And also give a test spray. What this is going to do is going to help you get a feel of the can, and that'll help your paint job. Whenever spraying, just hold the can about 8 to 10 inches from the surface. Push down the trigger. Just want to use a nice fluid motion from side to side. We're going to usually do this in about 2 to 3 coats, enough to cover. Should do it really. And you're going to want to give this about 20 to 30 minutes of dry time before you lay down the color coat. Okay, the primer step is finished. I let it dry for 20 minutes. The next step is the color coat. As mentioned before, we already verified the color code of this vehicle, so we got the correct color to match. The nozzle on the Perfect Match paint system is the Easy Touch 360 dial. This is a very universal nozzle. It can spray in vertical and horizontal patterns by simply turning the front of the nozzle here. So I'm going to go ahead and get started painting. When spraying the color, or really any paint, hold the can 8 to 10 inches from the surface and start with very light coats. The first coat is going to be your tack coat, and then you'll follow up with about 2 to 3 more light coats. The color coat's finished. Let that dry for about 20 minutes. The final step is the clear coat. The clear coat is extremely important because That helps complete the exact color match of the vehicle. It also adds gloss and added protection. I'm going to go ahead and start laying this down, just like everything else, 2 to 3 coats. Let it dry for about 20 minutes, maybe even 30 minutes. Go ahead and pull the paper off and you're finished.